Liverpool v everybody. I am here to talk about England's great white hope, that is Harry Mumblemouth Claim. I would never refer to him as his actual last name because it's not fitting. And here's the thing, it's not even what he said that bothers me. It's just that the nerve this guy has. And again, we talked about it. It's really fitting of how good Liverpool are right now, that people have to make up excuses as to why they didn't perform. Now, instead of him coming out and saying that Liverpool got all the breaks, first of all, what breaks? The only break we got was that you, being the great white Harry Mumblemouth Claim, once again could not rise up to the occasion and bring your team to victory. Okay, look, the goal he took, good shot, right place, right time, credit for that. That's what you're supposed to do. And that's not an easy goal to me. People might think that's crazy for me to say that, and I know Alisson was at the right side of the post and the goal was pretty much wide open goal. Being in the right place, right time, give him credit for that. That's not an easy finish. It's not, in my opinion. So, okay, fine, credit where credit is due. But when your best player or best players on the team don't consist of you and you scored the goal, that's a shame. Where were you at for the rest of the 89 minutes of the game? Where were you? I mean, I honestly, if I'm Pochettino, I'm taking him off, hooking him. He did nothing that whole game, nothing, except for that goal. So when your best players are the goalkeeper, Sissoko and Son, and your name is in that list, who are you to come out and say we got the breaks? The breaks were you being shit and your manager being void of any kind of plan besides, let's go there, hopefully get something early. Oh, we got that? Cool. Let's sit back and soak up pressure. I mean, that is an embarrassment to that club. Top 16, top 14 for the last few seasons, that's how you're playing? So I'm done with Claim. I'm done with Harry Claim. I'm done with him like I was ever really a supporter of him or I ever liked him as a striker in the first place. I haven't. And I just, this is the last I'll say about him because, that's if I'm a supporter of the Spurs, I'm very irritated to hear my captain, I believe he's the captain, people say he's one of the best strikers in world football, to come out and say that and not speak about his performance, which again, let me be fair, I didn't hear the whole interview, only heard a snippet. So maybe he did bring up the fact that we weren't good enough. I don't know. But you need to lead with that and make that be the most important thing, not about Liverpool getting breaks. There were no breaks that we got. We beat the brakes off your team. So if that's what you somehow meant, is that a subliminal? Okay, cool. We beat the brakes off that team. And I said it already in the post-match, that scoreline really flatters Spurs. Because if you see the scoreline, you're thinking, wow, Liverpool, and then you see the time stamps behind the goals, you're thinking, oh man, Liverpool really dodged a bullet. No, we didn't. We really didn't. We totally dominated that game. And not just the stats, just when you watch the game, these dudes were just hoofing the ball up every time they got it. And then sitting men behind the ball. That's it. That is all they did the whole game. And they had a hell of a performance from their goalkeeper. But Son was their guy going forward. If anything, Dele Alli's another guy. I mean, what is he now? I mean, can we even call him or consider him a football player? What has he done? What is he doing for that team? So again, Pochettino again dropping the ball, and I guess it's a situation where he feels like he has to play certain English players. You don't. What you have to do is keep your damn job and win games. The fact that you're not starting Lucas, who's another threat on the counter, on one of those long balls, you bump it down to Kane, to him or whatever. The fact that he's not starting, you putting Eriksen in there, bruh. There was a time where I had a bit of a respect for Pochettino, but I've lost it. And I don't know if he's just at a point now where he's like, well, who are they going to bring in after me? Who's going to do what I've done? And he's probably right. But, bruh, you got to come with something better than that. I mean, that's an embarrassment. That's an embarrassment. You know what I mean? And so, again, it's just really lovely at this point where you got guys so upset with their own situation, their own performance, because you got to believe, I mean, if he's human, unless he's a robot, Claim has to look at that performance and think, wow, I just can't step up for my team. I'm not world class. So what did I have all these goals? I get most of my goals from the penalty spot. I'm big, slow, I dive a lot. And it's funny because, I talk about breaks, this is a guy who is known for diving. Someone posted on Twitter the dive he did against us a season or two, I think it was 2 seasons ago, clear dive. I want to say Karius was in goal at the time. Maybe it was Mignolet, I can't remember. But, this is a team full of them. And he's on here talking about some Liverpool got all the breaks. Why didn't you just dive for another penalty? Oh, I know why, because you didn't get any chances to get the ball in the box to dive for a penalty. Why was that? Liverpool was too much for your team. Way too much. I mean, we were all over that team, you know, and again, it just shows the level we are at right now, man. Like, this team is, there's no such thing as we're beat. There's no such thing as, this is a deficit. Now, in the stadium, and I talked about this, and shout out to people the two folks who thumbs down the video I made, the post-match. Thank you so much. And I've said this already. The people who thumbs down, I always appreciate y'all a bit more, because that's some real hate you have. Some real strong, I guess, opposing opinions that you have to thumbs down a video, a post-match. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised I didn't get any thumbs down. I talked about the Divock Origi situation, but it is what it is. I love seeing it. But, you know, it's just, you know, the crowd still, I can see from time to time, still gets a little nervy, whatever. Look, I'm not there, you know what I mean? And so, but what I hear, and it wasn't the whole game. Yes, there were periods of time where I heard singing, but there were lots of periods of time, especially in that first half, where it was very quiet. And I had to remember, wait, are we at the field? Are we at Anfield? Because I don't really hear anything. So, and the thing is, you know, it was frustrating for a bit, because for a large period of that first half, I mean, Spurs didn't know what to do, you know, besides, you know, have a goalkeeper who had a really great game. And I've spoken about that to length. He had an amazing game. And I mean, just crazy. It was a situation, I think, where Firmino gets a shot on at the goalkeeper's left post, and somehow the ball just gets stuck to his ass cheek. Like, it goes through his legs, and somehow he just sits on. I mean, so, you know, I mean, that game could have been really ugly. That game could have been really ugly. And again, even when we're making our mistakes, or things just don't fall for us, because I think that first goal, it's definitely a couple of mistakes made. I want to say Henderson gave the ball away, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then we know the situation where the ball hits off of Lovren's head, almost gets an own goal, ricochets, and again, Mumblemouth is there to eat it up. So that's a mixture of just unlucky for us and just, you know, not the best defending, you know, because that could have been avoided. The giveaway that early in the game it can happen to anyone. You can get caught out, and those things happen. You just hope it don't lead to goals. But that game really flatters them. It does. I don't care what any other football fan says. It flatters them. And again, Liverpool can quote unquote play ugly, win ugly, and it's all good. You know, and we've been saying, you know, we probably haven't even been at our top level, but that's a sign of a true champion, where you can play games and not take your chances. This guy made at least 12 saves yesterday. 12. You know what I'm saying? 12 saves? That's unbelievable. So again, it shows you how much we littered that damn goal up. That's not a break. I mean, and I guess if him or any other Spurs fan, I got to listen to some of the Spurs, those clowns on Spurs Fancy, wherever it is, the Twins or whatever they are. I got to hear what they got to say. But for any supporter of Spurs who are saying we got a break, or who echo what Mumblemouth said, something's wrong with you. It wasn't like we got a whole bunch of calls by the ref that weren't supposed to be calls for us. I mean, maybe he's talking about the Aurier challenge, which is a clear penalty. It's a clear foul in the box, and it's a clear. It's an athlete right now who's working at just a incredibly high level, in my opinion. And again, not about always getting goals, but what mark can you leave on this game? When we look back at over the season, we look at situations that Monty found himself in, lost the ball, kept working, didn't say, oh, fuck it, he's got it, kept working, drew the penalty. James Harden, I spoke about it. So, you know, you just love to see it. You love to see the hate, you love to see the bitterness, you love to see team star players, arguably, I keep hearing the best, one of the best in the world, come out and say something like that. You love to see it, you know, and it's just a beautiful thing. I hope it continues, you know, but this team, it doesn't matter what's going on in the game. It doesn't matter if we aren't playing at our highest level. It doesn't matter if we can see the goal. And that's all frustrating to see, because you want to see clean sheets. You know what I mean? You want to see us playing well and dominating these teams. And every time I look at the table, which I don't do often because I know we're at the top, I look at the goals we've conceded, and we're still at the top of the league. Might be tied now with Sheffield United. Manchester United surprisingly has a pretty good defense, just in terms of conceding goals. Now, their chances they concede, I don't know, but conceding goals, I think it's us. Obviously, City, Sheffield United, and Manchester United are the best teams as far as conceding goals. But still, it's like that whole game, you're just waiting for it to come because you know it's going to come. You know at some point, all of this incredible performances from the goalkeeper is going to come to an end. Or not even, I shouldn't say that, but we're going to find a way to get through. As good as he was, we found ways to do it. And as scruffy as the Henderson goal was, I don't care. It went in. I really don't care how they go in, as long as they go in. So, I spoke about it before. The top four that where it is now, I think is what we should expect to see for the remainder of the season. And I'm glad that we're leading that pack, that group. But yeah, that's me for now, man. I just wanted to get on here and talk about Mumble Mouth real quick. Let me know if you guys feel the need to or want to, your thoughts on it. Either in any further, thoughts about the game or whatever. Who you liked, man of the match, players you thought stood out, things of that nature. So, enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you Wednesday. Take care.